Taking a long on gold here. We've come down below this LVN, low ticked here on increased volume. Have these potential shorts trapped and a very weak high still. So long gold 39.20 with an expectation that I'll come all the way back up into this volume of this high tick over here. I mean, it seems we have a weak high here as well. We had some high volume coming in here, so that's the only issue, but then we had a large buyer coming in here. This double bottom, but with volume at the bottom as well. Not the best low, but I'm going to give it a try. See if we can get a flush up through these sellers. So we have some potential sellers trapped in here, possibly a little early, but if we can get above this last seller and these limit buyers here at the bottom, we have a nice potential for a push up. This is the small push that I was looking for, potentially getting these last shorts trapped. Now we just need to get a little move. Killed the trade break even on the break above these short-term sellers, this short-term range. Little bit of increased volume coming in here, not much at all, but being that this liquidity wasn't taken at the low end of the range, I decided to take my risk off. This was the move that I was looking for in my trade in this short-term range. Came down below these lows, these limit buyers coming in, and then I went break even here on this internal high tick, and we came back down deep into the range here and then pushed up. And this is the move, in my opinion, that really trapped the shorts. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to see more selling coming in, as we have some untested supply right here, but I'd be pretty comfortable in this trade right now. Possibly a pullback to this 40 area, but we have some limit selling coming in here, which is to be expected, but it's also pretty slow. But this is some 20, almost 30 ticks above my entry, so we'll see what happens if we get a pullback to these trapped sellers, this area, and see if we get a strong buying response out of there. I might try to get in the long again to come up into this, my initial target in the 44.10 area or so. There's my target hit for about 50 ticks on that trade. Unfortunate to get taken out here. Read and context was right, and now we just got to kind of reassess and see what happens at the equity open. Along the ES 3150, it's real close to the open, but the push down seemed like we didn't take out this low, but we have a real nice chance to go up into this area above. I am going to take my risk off and see if we can trap all these sellers that came in here and move up into this high, into here at the 40. Needs to hold these tops and get going. We have some compression coming in here. It's looking real nice now. All of this is pretty weak. Well, even this LVN here at 38 makes sense. See how we respond actually around that 38 area. I should lock something in here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and lock in at least 2 points. Need to hold this volume now. Oh, come on, get going. Need to get a little lucky on this one now. Looks like it's going to take me out. Expectation of a pullback to these highs is not unusual, and that just took me out for 2 points. Trying along here at 45.20 on gold, and the idea is that we've come down and rejected this LVN here up at this one here. There is some high volume when we spike the overnight high, but I just feel like we're not done with this move up. And now we have the short term, in this short term range here, we have these sellers trapped here, these sellers trapped potentially here, and then the imbalance up through this area. So I'll be targeting, see how we respond at this high tick, but a break of the high a day is likely. And now I need to prove that these shorts are in fact trapped by this area holding and moving up now. This is fairly thinly traded, which is somewhat, you can say this is an unfair price up here, but I just feel like we are likely to come back up and retest this area. A likely move to the 50 round number makes sense, but I'm going to really watch it close and see how we handle this high tick here. If we see a large increase in volume anywhere in here, I'm going to be trying to lock in some profit, and my risk is off now here, and we're not really seeing any crazy amount of volume coming in yet. Definitely an increase in volume around this high tick. 45.20, I'm going to lock in 10. And we are looking pretty good for a further move up. It's getting pretty jumpy on the dome now. And that's a nice response there. Locked in 20. And I'd like to see this go. 48.10 have some volume coming in on the dome, and they are reloading. Traded down below. I just took it off at 47.10. I didn't like how that there was an offer that came in after that bid filled, but I still think we're likely to move higher into the 50, but I'll take the 26 ticks on that one, so that's nice. Long 39.75 the ES here. We've put in quite a bit of volume here back into the structure here. Another test down and failure. And now on this little pullback I got long, and target is to come up into the 45 area and have a little bit of selling volume here. If we can get above this area, the trade's gonna have a real good chance. Not gonna de-risk this yet. Not really any kind of big volume coming in yet, so see what happens when we push above this next high. And see if the main thing to watch here is this seller still here? If not, we're gonna see a flush above that high, but this seller definitely could come back in anywhere in here. I'd like to see it go. A little bit of a limit seller there still. So I'm gonna probably manage this tight now. I don't want to see price much lower. going to manage it very tight now on this next test up into that. If I see more selling coming in, I'm probably going to kill the trade. But this pretty low volume, nothing significant. And that's a nice little push there. And I am going to de-risk on the next push above. Right there. Risk is off. And I have to get a little lucky. And I'm going to get taken out, I believe. Yep, out for break even. I'm long 43.56. We've come down below this LVN again. Put in a low tick back into previous demand. And a little early on this trade, but my expectation is that we're going to come up and take out this weak high here and move into this previous volume of the highs. Got some big volume coming in here now, so I need this to go, or I'm going to kill this trade. This is not where I want sellers to be coming in, so it's got to go here. Right at 10 o'clock as well, so possible that we'll see some demand coming in. Maybe a little bit early here. We could definitely spike this low before moving higher. Yeah, it seems like it's having a little bit of trouble continuing to see selling coming in. And we're down below that volume now. So I'm going to kill this trade. This LVN is the last ditch effort, but like I said, the spike down before the move up is likely, so. And then I anticipated the break up before seeing it. And that's a loss. Full loss. Terrible trade. Fucking terrible. 43.56 to 52.75 is a full 4-point loss. And we'll reevaluate now. Long 43.54 again. Got me on the spike down, and I am still anticipating a move up to the same area that I talked about before. We just got to have this volume, push above this volume, these last sellers, and see. This is what I need to wait for. This spike down to give me the best chance of success. And rather than anticipating it, I get pulled in as the early long that gets spiked out, and then the move higher. So it's just hard to overcome a 4-point loss on that one. And even if I get this one right, it's so hard to be profitable. Have some volume at 60 on the dome, 62, but at this point it seems we have some selling coming in here now, but my risk is off, and now this needs to go. Pretty significant volume coming in, so it's possible there are still sellers in this market here, but I'm going to give it a chance to move up. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Pretty significant selling, limit selling coming in there, so, but I'm going to hold it. See how we handle this volume when we come back up into this right here at the 58. If it doesn't trade through this volume here, and we see more increased volume and limit selling coming in, I'll lock in a few points. Trading now. I would expect that 43.60 168 contracts on the dome there. So we'll see, but hasn't been able to trade through there yet, so. Trying again. We're going to see something happen one way or the other, but definitely some limit selling. Testing, trading now again, some size coming in on the bid. And I would expect that 43.60 to be traded now. And now I will manage this trade. 200 contracts at 43.58. That 60 volume is pulled. Trying for 62.75. Need to hold this volume now from above. I like the response. Not really seeing that much selling coming in. Increase in volume for sure, but nothing crazy. This is that area though. I think we're really likely overall, we're likely to see a new high a day into that 65.75 area. But now we're trading back to that volume, so I'm going to play this pretty tight now here. Give it a chance. Likely to move higher now. Still not anything crazy. No real large selling coming in. Needs to hold the tops, which would be my expectation with quite a few trapped sellers now in here. Doesn't mean that new selling can't come in, but that last bar we had a still increase in volume, but nothing crazy. See if we can get one more push up here. 60 traded. Some size at 62. Have some selling coming in now again. I'm locking in 4 points. Which will just cancel out my last loss. But I think I'm going to get taken out here. Taken out for 4 points.